Hi everyone, I'm April and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks, and this is episode number 31. I am going to be making this kind of a shorter video, I hope, because I've got to get to work soon. I'm doing some overtime today, 10 hours of overtime, so I really just wanted to get this in because I won't be getting out of work until after 8 p.m. And I think I'll probably be a little bit too tired to get an episode in afterward. So I'm going to start off with my socks. I just had them. I don't know where the other one went. I'm already a mess and I just started. My goodness. Anyways, I did get them both done. I don't know where the other one. I just literally had it in my hand. But I was looking for my sock blocker and I can't find it. So, sorry. So here's one of them. And if you remember, this was Nitpick's Stroll yarn, fingering yarn, on the Pickle Juice colorway. And what I did was over-dyed it with some green food coloring. And I'm trying to show you the speckles that it created within this neon green, maybe right there, within this solid neon green color. So I ended up with these very subtle speckles and I just love it. It's just so pretty. There it is. I do have two, I promise. And the gray is actually, they called it lavender. It was the October House Fiber Arts. It was part of a kit and it was called French Meadow, I believe, and one of the colorways was lavender. And it really does look lavendery up against the other colors, and I think I have a picture of it somewhere when I had the full kit. I've just been I never used the kit all as one project. I've just kind of been using the minis in different things. So, but I think I still have a picture of the full kit together, and you'll see it looks more purpley in the photo, where on its own it really takes on more of a gray color. It does have an undertone of purple to it, but I would not have named this lavender myself. So I did the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, which I was very surprised actually fits rather well. So wonderful, yay. This was supposed to be a stockinette sock. It was a Summer Breeze sock by Gabby Boland. I chose to do a 4x4 rib just because I like ribbing, and it's mindless, but it's not monotonous exactly. So I've got two. They fit perfect. I'm super excited. So after I did that, I decided that I wanted to work on my blanket, my little scrappy blanket that I'm using. Oh, there went the needle. Great. I drop things all the time. So the last time I worked on this was back in early June, and I think I only had 29 squares at the time, and right now I have 35, and I'm loving it. Let's see, these squares here, these four, where are they? These three solid were the singles that I used in my exploration station. The fourth one, I think I put on the other side somewhere. I don't know what I did. I'm already lost. Oh, there it is, down here in the corner. So I've kind of just been putting them willy-nilly, like all just random. Like if I see a place that has, like this little area here had a bunch of kind of dark colors, so I threw on a cream color here the other day because I thought, oh, I need to break up some of that dark. But the ones that I just put in, this is the one that I just had, the October House lavender gray color. That's that. I put the pickle juice up on the other end. This is a yellow that I just put on it was also a little tiny ball that I had left over from some other project, also using the same October House yarn. This was one of the other ones that was in. I think this one is called Tea Stained. I can't remember. But it was part of that French Meadow kit from October House Fiber. So I now have 35 on here. This one I love. I haven't even actually used this yarn in anything else. It's a very pretty rainbowy yarn, and I can't think of the name right now, but I just had to throw that on there because I was starting to feel like there was too many solids in one color, in one corner, so I had to throw in a variegated, and that's the one I had. That's the first one that I grabbed. So I put on 6 squares this week. This thing is going to take me forever. I measured out each square. Each square comes to about 2 1/4 inches. And I'm thinking I want this to fit on top of my queen size bed. So doing a little bit of math. Whoops, sorry, I kicked it. Doing a little bit of math, I think I'm going to need over 1,008 to be exact, squares to make it the size that I'd like. That's potential. I may give up after it becomes a lap blanket and just say, okay, I'm done. But I really have a whole lot of fingering weight yarn, so why not just stick it all in one big giant thing? Who cares if it takes me forever? And it's nice and lightweight, so it'll be a nice summer blanket for the top of the bed. I love it. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. And I do have, and you'll see, I'm not doing, and mine is very, very patchworky. I'm not really putting my colors in any specific order. And even here, if my ball gets too small and I run out, I supplement with another one. So some of them are color blocked mitered squares. I've got speckles, solids, variegateds. Here's another one that I kind of ran out of a color, and this one too. Even this will look, even the tiny tip is a different color. I have just been literally using up every single inch of yarn that I have. Not trying to save any of it. I want to use it all because I love it all, and it's very, very, and I think I've been showing you the backside. But either way, it's going to be over 1,000 squares, and I think that most people are doing one called the Cozy Memory Blanket or something like that. This one is not that pattern. It's very similar, and I know there's quite a few of these types of patterns on Ravelry. I believe this one is called Knitted Patchwork Blanket. I'm not positive, but I'll put it up here for you. I don't know how different or similar it is to the other ones as far as construction. I did modify it a little bit because this one was 16 and 16 on each side, so 32 stitches, and it was done. Sorry, my allergies are really driving me insane right now. And the decreases were 2 decreases up the center, so I think it was like I don't remember, it's been so long. It was like a slip knit and a knit 2 together going up the center, where I just decided to do a center double decrease to create that line. So I added 1 extra stitch. So I would pick up 16 here, put 1 in the corner, and then the 16 here. So I ended up with 33 stitches, and then I would do the center double decrease. Very easy. So it was super, and this was a free pattern, but I'm loving it. I am super happy with it. I love how rustic it looks because I am using random yarns to fill in whatever I run out of, and I love it. I'm having so much fun. And I will probably be repeating colors because some of the balls are not really big enough to do heels and toes on anything, and they're also, I just have a lot of them, so I'll be interspersing the same colors throughout the blanket. It's like I'm going to be putting one square per color. That would be crazy. I mean, it's very likely I have over 1,000 individual colors. or at least I will by the time this is the size I need it, but I'm just using every little bit that I can. But I did find that some of these really small balls of leftovers are good for toes for little children. And I don't know that my niece watches this, and I kind of hope she doesn't, because she knows something is going on, but she doesn't know exactly what. Because I asked her to send me her children's shoe sizes. So I'm making socks for my great nephew and my 2 great nieces. I have to put great in there. That's crazy. They are, oh gosh, I don't even remember their exact ages. I want to say like 1, 3, and 5. Actually, I think the oldest one is a little bit older than that. Anyway, so I'm making 3 pairs of socks, all under at least the age of 7. Let's go with that. So some of these really small leftover balls, even though I've used some of them in my blanket, I still have, this is the yellow that I put in that corner. I still have some left, and it'll be enough to at least do just the toes on these socks. I may not get heels or cuffs out of this, probably not, but at least toes, because what I'm doing is using this yarn, which is amazing. This is the Squidgy Base yarn by Pandia's Jewels, and it is oranges and creams, slight bit of yellow, and slight bit of tan. This is called Tribble. And again, I was drawn in by the name because I'm not really an orangey fan. So I'm going to use this for toes. Anyway, I was saying about the tribbles, I got sidetracked about tribbles because, you know, Star Trek, hello, I had to get tribbles. And it's perfect. It really does look like I'm invaded by tribbles. So for one of the children, I'm using this as the toes. If I have enough for cuff, I will. I'm not going to do heels. It's just too much weaving ends for socks that are about that big. So toes, and this is for one of the children. I actually have 2 of these little balls, so I think because this is the one I have the most of, this is going to be for the oldest, since his feet are bigger. And then the third one is the cream. So each kid will have the same sock, just different toes. So some of these little tiny balls are going to be, you know, even though I've already used them in my blanket, they'll go to good use still. And like I said, if I still have a tiny bit left, I will probably be magic knotting them together and still adding them to my blanket. Very excited. These are, and I have to do these on DPNs because I can't do these on my 9-inch circular. Maybe Mason's, because he's got a bigger circumference, but definitely Lydia and Liliana, they're very small, and there's no way these are going to fit on the 9-inch circular. These are, I intended to do, it's called Vanilla-esque. It's a knitting pattern. I don't remember the name of the designer, but I'll put it up here. And it's very pretty. It's got this pretty little, I don't know if you can really see it on this yarn, cabling here, up both sides. And then after you finish your heel, you'll have it 2 on the front and 2 on the back. It's toe up. And I chose to use the same toe that I found that was really easy from these socks by Gabby Boland. The toe up technique I used here, and I did do it in the orange, and then I switched and I started this Vanilla-esque pattern, and after about 5 repeats, it was creating ladders, which I normally don't. Even though I use DPNs, I'm very proficient at using DPNs, and I don't normally get laddering, but I was getting really bad laddering here, and I've had to go in, and you probably cannot see that, but I've had to go in and kind of fudge these stitches to, you know, go back and tighten them up a little bit because it was just not looking nice. So I decided after 5 repeats to stop that little cabling pattern from the vanilla-esque. And it's not the pattern's issue, it's mine. There's something with my knitting because those socks look great. So I thought what I decided to do, since I've already done it, I wasn't going to rip it out because I wasn't in the mood to rip it out and start over. It's amazing how fiddly tiny little socks are. So I didn't want to pull it out. So I think I'm going to probably put these same 5 repeats on all the socks so that they'll be the same. It'll have just that little bit of detail there at the toe, and everybody will have different colored toes. So that's what I'm working on right now. This is the yarn that I pulled out for the Brown Baggy Knit Sock Club for August. And like I said, I'm not really much of an orange person, so I thought, hey, I'm gonna make my little great nephew and nieces some socks. I won't be entering these ones into the Grocery Girls sock bash because they require that you make adult size socks. And even though I'm making 3 pairs in 1 month, I don't think that it counts. And I don't want to ask. I mean, they've already got in their rules stated adult size only, so I'm not gonna try to complicate things by saying, but I'm doing 3, please. I'm not gonna do that to them because they are so busy. They have so much going on, and I don't want to make things more complicated for them by having them bend the rules or asking them to bend the rules. So I'm not gonna do that. And also, just to add to that, I think if I were making these in a size for myself, this pattern, I would be able to do it on a 9-inch circular. It would be less fiddly, and I would probably get less laddering on that particular cable pattern. I'm thinking it's just because it's something with the DPNs. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I don't like that I'm getting a laddering on either side of the cabling. But I do want to try it again because I think it's a very cute pattern. And so maybe whenever I make myself another pair of socks using the 9-inch circulars, I'll try this pattern again, but it's very cute. Oh, one other thing that I was going to talk about real quick about these socks is I've been wanting this for a while, and I was only going to get the big size, but I decided, since I was going to delve into making children's socks, to get all 3 sizes. I had the paper here somewhere. I got the sock rulers. That's backwards. I got the sock rulers. I'm so happy. I was super excited. This is it. And it shows you, this card shows you, how you can measure from the cuff or how you can measure from the toe. And I was super excited. They came in the mail and I am loving them so much. The very smallest size fits into Liliana's little sock. And it's perfect. I know exactly where I'm at. I thought, oh, this is a frivolous buy. I don't really need that. And no, I'm not going to spend the money. But I finally decided to do it. And it's not frivolous at all. I love this. It is so much easier than trying to lay this and hold it flat and get my little flimsy tape measure to try to measure it correctly, where this just does it so easy. So I'm super excited. Yay, thank you, sock ruler. So I got all 3 sizes. This is for toddlers, infants and toddlers, I believe. This is for older children, and then the adult size. So I got all 3, and please excuse me, my nose is itching and my eyes are itching, and I'm gonna go crazy if I don't take some more medicine before I leave for work. So that is that. Oh, please tell me I threw that needle in there. So those should go by rather quickly because they're small. But again, it's a matter of me being able to carve out the time. So I forgot about my subscription. How do I forget that I have a subscription of yarn? But I totally forgot about it. And I got a package the other day, and my son was with me, and he goes, "This feels like yarn." And I'm like, I don't know. I don't recall that I ordered anything recently. And so, he's like, "It feels like yarn." So, okay, let's open it. Let's see what this is. And I was super excited. I forgot. It's my subscription for the Indie Untangled Where We Knit subscription. My August, this is my third one. You get 4. I got one in February and I got one in May. So my August one came and I was so excited, not only because, yay, it arrived, but because the color, I thought I was gonna die. We were driving and I was like, I'm gonna wreck this car because this yarn is so beautiful. My son opened it for me and he just showed me and I was so excited. So this is, I'm gonna show you the yarn after, but it comes with a pattern, and I'm just gonna recap what this is because I know I've talked about it before. The Indie Untangled Where We Knit subscription is, like I said, 4 installments, and each installment combines an indie dyer and a knitwear designer, and they work together, they collaborate together to come up with a colorway and a pattern to be used with that colorway. And they did tell you who these designers and dyers are and who's paired with who for each installment. So I knew who I was getting, but this particular, you know, some of them I knew. I know Pandia's Jewels was in there, Hugh Loco was in there, CC Almond was one of the dyers. I'm sorry, one of the designers. And so I knew some of them, and some of them I really love their stuff. This particular installment, I don't know either one, the dyer or the designer, but I think I just fell in love. Okay, so this is the pattern that we're getting, and it's called Birds and Ships, and it's a cowl. And you can get a hint of the color there on the card. And I'm sorry, this is all completely bent because God knows what happens between my mailbox, my car, my house, and podcasting. I don't know, it got all bent. So there will be another email coming shortly with the Ravelry code. So I'll go in as if I'm going to buy the pattern. I'll apply this code and I'll get it. Not for free because I've already paid it, but I won't have to repay. And that way I can have it installed in my Ravelry library forever. There was another email that I just received for an immediate download if I wanted to download it to my computer. I don't have a computer at home. I'm still in the dark ages. I don't have my own computer. Everything that I do here is on my phone. Every internet thing I do is on my phone or on my notepad. And actually my notepad I only use for downloading patterns that I'm going to use at the moment so that I can zoom in, and it allows me to write on it and save what notes I've taken. So those are the only 2 techie things that I've got in my house. So I don't have a computer, so I wasn't going to download it. I'm waiting for the email so I can put it in my library and use it when it's necessary. But I know that I am going to be pairing this yarn with that pattern because, oh my God, it is such a perfect combination. I am a teal and gray fan. Even my son was like, that is so pretty. And my kids are, you know, they don't get my fascination. Beautiful color. This is by Little Fox, and it's very lightly colored, so I don't know if you can see it. Not focusing, but it's Little Fox. This is her Vixen base. It's very high twist fingering yarn. Grays and teals, and this is called, it's named the same as the pattern, Birds and Ships. And it is, let's see, 400 yards for 100 grams, 80% superwash merino, and 20% silk. So there's no nylon in this. But, I love it! Oh, and I didn't mention the designer for this Birds and Ships cowl is Caitlin Hunter. And I believe that I've heard that name, but I don't think that I've ever done any of her patterns. So I'm super excited. It is a pretty cowl. I'm happy. It was a surprise for me because I literally have had so much going on that I forgot about my installment, and oh, it came and I'm in love. I'm super excited. Super, super, super happy. Sorry, I am all over the place, but I have in the back of my mind that I need to kind of go, go, go because I got to go to work. So I apologize for that. And I'm going to go way back here. This is a pattern that I believe I showed in one of the first few episodes. It's a design that I kind of came up with. It's a free pattern that I have on Ravelry, and it's going to be huge. It's a scarf that I combined two different techniques. I did the temperature technique of making stripes. So basically every day I use the temperature for that day to choose a color. And then I combined that with knitting the old shale lace pattern. A lot of people call this pattern feather and fan. I know it as old shale. That's what I called my pattern, the temperature old shale scarf. So that I have as a free design on Ravelry. And just to start off, this is my list of 15 or 16 colors and the temperature ranges that I chose to use for my area. I leave that up to you all. I use a local, I use an internet-based weather website so that I can find the temperatures for each day. And this one actually goes back because I'm way behind. This one goes back. I can go way back and check the temperature. And I decided to do the median temperature. So I didn't do any lows and I didn't do any highs, so I know that we were well over 100 degrees just recently. Well, not well over, we were like 102, 104, I think we got one day at the hottest. But that's not going to show in the blanket. It will show that the temperature is much higher, but I'm using the median, so the average for that day. Between the lowest and the highest, I'm using the median temperature. And so I don't think my colors are going to get up into these last few colors. I may get up in here, but you know, the average being high 80s, low 90s. The highest extreme temperatures, definitely we got over 100, but that's not going to show in my shawl, or I'm sorry, my scarf, because I couldn't decide, well, in the coldest days, do I want to use the lowest temperature? On the hottest days, do I use the highest temperature? And it was too much thinking for me, so I'm just going to use the median. Now, I am cheating a little bit because I did start this, because I uploaded that pattern onto Ravelry about this time last year, and then I said, oh, 2017, I'm going to go all the way back to January 2017 and knit all the way and be caught up by the end of 2017. Didn't. This thing has been sitting around, and I only recently now just got back into really wanting to work on it. And it's not because I don't like it, it's just because I get so squirrel about everything and I want to start new things, and this one kind of just got pushed to the side. But I've been kind of in the mood, especially now that I've been doing my scrappy blanket and seeing all the colors on that. I kind of wanted to get back to this. So January and February on this blanket on this scarf are from 2017, and then starting about mid-March is when I did started this year, because that's when I pulled it back out. So this is January up to that. There's a marker somewhere. Where is my stitch marker? There it is. So that's all January, and then to this marker I've got, let's see, February. And to this marker, this is March, so half of this is 2017 and half of it is 2018. So this is March. Now I've just started April, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's so pretty. I had seen all of the temperature blankets and scarves, and they all did either just garter, stockinette, or crocheted, single crochets, and it just felt very flat just because the rows are flat, and I wanted something more natural and organic feeling because it's nature. You know, Mother Nature is providing my striping pattern here, so I wanted the pattern to feel a little more flowy. And I'm using Hirschner's 2-ply Afghan yarn that I got directly off their website. And I think I've mentioned before, I've got tons and tons and tons of this yarn. I made shawls with this, and it's very soft. It's 100% acrylic, sport weight, but it works up so nice. You know, say what you will about using acrylics versus more expensive yarns, fancy yarns. I mean, they both have a place in my heart, and I love them. And it's working up really well, and I'm gonna need just minimal blocking on this thing. I'm gonna have 87,000 ends to weave in, but hey, it's coming out so pretty. I love it. And again, this is on my Ravelry store as a free download. Super simple, and it's going to be huge because each day requires 4 rows, which is going to make it super long. So that's why I made this scarf kind of wide, because this is going to be super long, and just for proportion's sake I thought I would make it wider, so it's going to be crazy long. Now, to get an idea of how long this is going to be, this is a quarter of the length. 3 months and a few days here, and I've still got all the rest of the year to go. So this is going to be very long, which it'll be nice if it gets super cold at some point. I can wrap it a couple of times around, or I may end up using this as a wall hanging because I am just loving looking at it. And if I wear it as a scarf, it's going to be put away for most of the year, and I think it would just be super pretty to hang up somewhere as a wall hanging, maybe like across the top of my bedroom. So that's what I'm working on. Okay, so that's about all I have for you right now, and I will see you guys next time. I gotta get myself out of here and get to work, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I hope the rest of your week is just as great. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.